Tonight, Israel says another 136 aid packages were dropped into Gaza. Israel is working in coordination with the UAE, Jordan, Egypt, France, Germany, and Belgium to deliver the aid. But it's just a fraction of what is needed as the hunger crisis worsens. Gaza health officials say another 6 people have died of starvation or malnutrition in the past day. We're joined now by Mara Kronenfeld. She's the executive director of UNRWA USA, which works to support the work of UNRWA, the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestinian Refugees. I should note, Israel's parliament has banned UNRWA from activity within Israel and from Israeli authorities having any contact with UNRWA. That ban went into effect in January. But Mara, it's been a week now since Israel introduced these measures to allow more aid into Gaza, including these so-called humanitarian corridors for UN convoys and the airdrops as well. Is this actually having an impact?
Thank you, Omar, for having me. And unfortunately, this aid is a drop in the bucket at best and a deadly, dangerous distraction at worst. Unfortunately, the amount of aid is nothing at all close to what is needed. What is needed is 600 trucks of aid on a daily basis to address the mass starvation. In fact, the whole of the Gaza Strip is facing famine as we speak, with acute malnutrition being faced by all of those in Gaza, by most of those in Gaza City. These airdrops we're seeing right now on video, they cost as much as would get 600 trucks into the strip, yet they only have on them what is equivalent to 1 to 5 trucks. They are highly inefficient, and as you stated, they're not enough to address the vast needs on the ground right now.
And for perspective, UNRWA has thousands of staff members in Gaza. Can you just describe the scale of the crisis right now? What needs to happen to turn things around?
Yes, UNRWA has 12,000 staff members. Let me tell everyone who's listening, UNRWA has 12,000 staff members right now on the ground in Gaza who are making sure that people have water. They're fixing water wells. They are cleaning up massive amount of waste, of toxic waste. They are the front line of medical care for Gazans right now, because the hospital system in Gaza has been systematically destroyed by the Israeli military. UNRWA are doing the best they can in a situation that we've heard a decorated former Army veteran, Anthony Aguiar, call beyond the pale, describe as essentially Palestinians that he saw, that he was trying to serve, essentially the walking dead. This is a deliberate attempt to starve a whole population. And right now we need the inverse of the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which is UNRWA, for its transparency, for its independence, for the fact that UNRWA's work has been mandated by the community of nations for 75 years, every couple of years. We don't need American mercenaries going in and distributing a Band-Aid solution at best, and again, something that's extremely dangerous, weaponized aid at worst.
And for context, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation is backed by the U.S. and Israel and has sort of taken over frontline distribution of aid, which was previously done by UNRWA and United Nations led on that front. I have to ask you about a report. The Washington Free Beacon is reporting on a report from the State Department, the U.S. State Department, to Congress, which says, quote, the administration has determined UNRWA is irredeemably compromised and now seeks its full dismantlement. Now, CNN has not independently confirmed this report, but Israel has long opposed the agency. A UN investigation in August 2024 did find 9 UNRWA employees may have been involved in the October 7th attacks. They no longer work at the agency. But how do you respond to the claim, reportedly from the U.S. State Department, that UNRWA is irredeemably compromised?
These are simply lies, and they are, if they weren't so dangerous, we could call them laughable. The government, the U.S. government, the U.S. State Department under Biden, I can name so many people, including Jake Sullivan, Anthony Blinken, and many others who declared how essential UNRWA's work is and has been for many years. This is a lie to try to essentially do what we see, which is replace UNRWA, the organization with the experience and the ability to prevent a famine, with a fly-by-night organization that doesn't have the experience. And in fact, as Anthony Aguiar again has stated, is actually killing civilians. We are seeing a Hunger Games play out. I don't let my children watch the Hunger Games, and yet the US is standing by watching a population of beleaguered, starving people fight over food. Please, everyone, listen to this decorated veteran's testimony and question if we as Americans want to have blood on our hands, up to the blood of up to 1 million children in Gaza right now. This is a travesty of epic proportions, and we need to pay attention to what's really happening, not to the propaganda against a UN organization that has been working in Gaza for 75 years at the bequest of the world community through mandate of the United Nations.
And I should say, too, you mentioned Anthony Blinken and Jake Sullivan. Some of the ties with UNRWA were stopped in January 2024 when they were still in office. But of course, we've heard the testimony of Anthony, as you mentioned there. Before we go, the UN to this point has described the Israel and U.S.-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which, as I mentioned, the body that primarily took over aid distribution, as a flawed mechanism, while the World Food Program said on Sunday that Israel has agreed to streamline the process and allow the use of alternative routes. The UN says a large proportion of trucks are still being blocked. What are you hearing right now about aid trucks not being allowed in Gaza? Have you gotten any latest report on that front?
We have seen some a trickle of trucks come in, but again, to address the humanitarian crisis that has been brought to us, that is not a natural crisis, but a man-made one, we need 600 trucks a daily. What is coming in is a drop in the bucket. And in fact, it's worse than that, because it's attempting to be a diversion, to say, oh, we're helping people. But actually, we have the whole of Gaza facing a man-made famine. And also, the majority of the food is located in the south of Gaza, where the vast majority of the population isn't, where there are not population centers. And then we have Israeli military firing on people who are seeking food. This is not help. This is the opposite of help. We need, again, I call directly on the American people. We need to stop this. It would be shameful for all of us. We will all have the blood of these people on our hands. Please, please pay attention, if not to me, then to Mr. Aguiar and his very brave testimony.
Mara Kronenfeld, I have to leave it there. Thank you so much for taking the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Omar.